Hello and welcome back to the Fabienne Show. I'm so happy that you're here and I have a guest for us today, Iris Boonstra. I'm so happy to have you here. You are a spiritual mentor for purpose-driven women business owners with over 30 years of experience in soul alignment. And I'm deeply happy to have you here with us today. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about becoming a spiritual mentor for purpose-driven women business owners. Have you always done that? How does one become that?
Thank you, Fabienne. I'm so happy to be here with you and really excited to be here with your podcast listeners also. So really excited. No, I haven't always been that. So it took a while for I could even see myself as a purpose-driven entrepreneur. And I started over 30 years ago and I only felt like I want to start a business with spirituality. And before that, I had a college degree of physiotherapist and I worked as a physiotherapist, and I felt in my heart like this isn't all there is to healing, that there must be more. I feel there is more. So my journey on spirituality started and I discovered healing, and then something woke up. I realized, oh, this is what I've been missing in my life. And it didn't make me everything clear right away, but I knew I had to follow this path. And I did a lot of healing training and all kind of things to develop myself spiritually. And really soon I felt like I would love I would love to start a practice being a healer. And that's what I really wanted to be. And in the beginning, I didn't see myself as special. I didn't see myself as a healer. I just knew I was really good at it, but I didn't see myself as worthy of this and didn't see myself making money with this. So it was kind of a struggle in the beginning. But I just kept on going and going. Yeah.
That's the key, right? It's really listening to that little voice inside. I talked about this in the beginning of my book, The Leveraged Business, where a friend of mine a really long time ago started talking about life's purpose. And I started thinking about my business at the time and thinking there's got to be more to this. And I think you just touched upon that. This idea that we get to a point where it feels like something's missing and it doesn't necessarily make sense. We're following the breadcrumbs that we're supposed to follow, start your business and go marketing and go networking and go speaking. And now, of course, go do some social media. But there's often this call inside that says something's missing. And for me, it was spirituality. And for me, it was aligning with my life's purpose, which we've actually been talking about a little bit here on the podcast. And it sounds like that's what happened to you. And it's not necessarily like direct. It's not like, I know I need to be more spiritual in my business. So here we go. I'm being spiritual in my business and everything works itself out. Not necessarily that way, at least in my experience. And it sounds like in yours either. When we met, when did we meet? A couple of years ago?
Yeah, almost 2 years ago. I
Yeah.
think it was in April, May, somewhere around that.
Yeah. And you were doing your business in a different way than you're doing now
Yeah, that's right.
and experiencing some misalignment. Can you talk about that? Because I've talked about that here for my business. This feeling that something needed to shift, but I was holding on to the past.
Yeah, I recognize that, holding on to the past, because I had come a long way and I already had a successful business at this time, and I did what I really love doing and I enjoyed working with the women, but somehow in my business I felt something was missing, and I kind of hit a plateau. It was a plateau in revenue, but also in fulfillment. This is feeling like there's more. And I didn't really know what it was. And I tried all the old strategies, like doing more webinars, doing more challenges, doing more of this and doing more of that, and even lowering my prices and giving more and asking less and all of these things. And I made myself smaller and smaller, trying to please the outside world, and somehow it didn't work. And that was a moment when it really didn't work anymore. I had some months it was really great, and then some months it was absolutely, well, nothing worked, and it was up and down. And I think in these early days where I felt this shift was needed, I think the most important message of my soul was in these days, you can't control your marketing. You can't control what you're putting out. Really need to listen. You can't say from your mind like, okay, I need some more revenue. Let's do another webinar. I need some more of this. Let's do this. And like my soul was telling me, okay, you can do this, but it's not like it will always work out the same. You really need to listen deeper and deeper what wants to be shared, not also in your business, not also in what you're providing for your clients, but also what you're doing in your marketing. It has to be from a soul perspective. It has to be from your heart. It has to be from love. And when this teeny, mini, tiny thing that mind thinks, when it worked so well last month, I can do this again. And I didn't listen deep enough. Like, is it really meant to do this again this month? Or is something else needed? Or is it time for me or deeper alignment in me or whatever? But I kind of forgot to really deep align. And my soul showed me like, this isn't the way. You need to learn to listen deeper and more. And then, the rest of the breadcrumbs will follow.
Yeah. Is there a way to explain how you can go for years in making good revenue and having things be rather easy, and then you stumble upon this timing? Is it divine timing or something where everything starts to break? We've talked about this on the podcast before in terms of divine discontent. And if you're listening to this episode and you haven't listened to the divine discontent one, I really invite you to go back and do that. And this redirection, like when things start to break or you start to have this ceiling, this glass ceiling that wasn't there before and you keep bumping up against it. Why now for some people as opposed to not for the last 10, 15 years? Is there a time when your soul or the divine says, okay, it's been good up to now, but now we're going to break some things around you so that you start taking different action? Is that how it works? Like, what can you share with us about that?
Yeah, I believe that's the way it works. I believe our soul has divine timing, and we all come with a purpose. We all come with a plan, not like written out in 19, then you do this, and 20 this, then you do that. But it's more like, okay, you need to develop this part of your life, and then we open up the next part, and then you develop, for example, you develop making good revenue, and then when you've learned that, then we open up the next part of your purpose. So this soul is having divine timing in giving us, opening new portals, you can say. And when we've learned something and we're really good at it, and our soul opens the next part of it. And especially in this time, I believe we are living in a spiritual special time. There's so many people are feeling there's more, longing for spirituality, are longing for deeper soul alignment. It's like a collective movement also. And in these times, many women are being prepared in their life to go live their real true purpose, what they are truly here for, their true reason for being. And when you're ready for it, your soul will give you some time to listen to the little nudges. And when you don't listen, you get a bigger one. And when you still don't listen, you get even a huge one. But it's timing. Your soul really wants you to understand deeply that it's time for more. When everything crumbles, it's not a sign that you're not doing the right thing. It's a sign that there's more available for you and that you're doing perfect and that you're being magnificent. But there's even more. And mind, our human experience, can hardly imagine there can be more when there's so much in life, when you've reached so much and your business is successful, your life is beautiful. We can hardly imagine there's even more. But our soul knows it's ready, it's available. And so we kind of need to crumble. It needs to crumble when we've got so much. We're not like from, okay, of course you can have it and give me something new. No, we want to maintain all the beauty we have and don't know yet for sure what we'll get. So it kind of needs to crumble. So we are willing to open up the next stage of our evolution.
I think that when things are comfortable, even if things are outdated and comfortable,
Yeah.
we don't make changes. We're not motivated to make changes. I thought about before meeting my husband, Derek, there were relationships that I was in that I knew weren't going to be the one, but I thought, oh, okay, it's good enough. I'll just stay. Or there were, I don't know, maybe some friendships or some ways of being in my life that it wasn't uncomfortable enough. So I just held on to the old. And what I'm hearing from you is that your soul or the divine gets to a point and says, okay, you've been comfortable enough with the old. It's time to shake things up and have you step into this new evolution of your work and really listening to your soul and the soul of your business. Now, listen, maybe you're here and you're thinking, what is this? Like, what is the soul of your business? Your soul is talking to you about your business. And you know what? Maybe like 15 years ago, I would have been like, this is crazy. This is crazy talk. And yet the divine started shaking me a little bit. The divine or my soul started making me feel like something is not right. I seem to have everything, and yet there's still this piece of me that knows there is more. And some of you who are listening are like, yeah, this is right on. I am feeling it so much. What used to make me happy isn't making me happy anymore. What used to make me money in my business isn't making me money anymore. There's this, again, this discontent. And so, whatever you're feeling, I ask that you just stay open to this, because more and more women that I'm talking to, especially women, and I'd love to hear why it seems that more women, I don't know, maybe it's not just women, but more and more women I'm talking to are experiencing this status quo not working anymore, not feeling good anymore. Can you share more about, is it just women? Or is it predominantly women, and why?
It's a lot of women. Also some men, but I think women are leading in this time. And women have been also very good at sacrificing our own needs and sacrificing who we truly are. And I think it's time that women really step up and be truly honest about, why am I here? Not just being here to do the right thing, but to do what's right for me.
Mm,
And we've all been raised to do the right thing, and we need to learn again. Not always what seems the right thing for the outside world is right for me. And I think women are meant to lead in this shift globally, because we've been living in for ages in society where masculine energy has been really dominant, and I call it a traumatized masculine energy, because masculine energy from a source, from a divine perspective, is beautiful. It's powerful. It's also loving. It's beautiful.
yeah.
But the male masculine energy we've had for the past centuries and also in last decades is traumatized. It's masculine energy based on fear, based on misalignment of power. And we are being asked as a human collective to look again and to lead more from our heart, lead more from love, live from love, and build a society which is more living from love, love for our children, the animals we are living with, for nature, Mother Earth, love for ourselves, love for each other. And women are perfectly balanced for that. Also, in our body, the entire alignment of our body is perfect for stepping into this alignment with our heart. We've got the feelings, we've got the love, we've got the right power to open up this part. And I believe a lot of souls, like I believe in first, we are the soul who is coming here to have an experience as a human being. And a lot of us have been born here in the female body as a woman to lead, to really make a difference, to really make a change, because we have compassion. We move to tears when we see someone suffer. And that has led for a large part to sacrifice of ourselves when we see someone else suffer. Okay, I can have less, so you can have more. And that's the part that we are invited in these times to stop sacrificing ourselves and to live from love and compassion, but also from love and compassion for ourselves, and to allow ourselves to be deeply happy with life, to live our true purpose. And I believe women, yeah, in these times, it's not just a coincidence. So many women feel this urgency to rise, this urgency to step up, this urgency to share their story, their love, their compassion with the world.
I feel this urgency to rise.
Yeah.
Even saying those words, I feel tears coming up in my eyes. I can't explain it. Who am I to think that I have? Who am I to think I can make a dent into anything that's going on in this world? But there is definitely something in this world that needs shifting, right?
Yeah.
No matter where we are on side of different topics, I can say with my hand on my heart that very few people think that everything is great out there. And I was at an event in New York many years ago, and the person on the stage, it was a business event. There was probably a few hundred people in the audience. And the person on the stage reflected the quote from the Dalai Lama that said, "The world will be changed by the Western woman." And for me, in a complete divine download, it was like, no, the world will be changed by the Western woman entrepreneur. It was like this word just came down and it hit me over the head. And, obviously I'm a woman entrepreneur and I'm a coach to women entrepreneurs. So it would be convenient for me to say that, but it was so like clear. And I've just never stopped thinking about that, how everyone can affect other people, but somehow I feel that women entrepreneurs have this special toolbox to help others. I don't know. Can you help me with this, Iris? Because I'm,
Yeah, I
I'm
love what
struggling
you're
with my words. Help me figure this out.
I love what you're saying, and it's so beautiful. And for women entrepreneurs, so important to realize this sentence, that you really have this power, that your business is giving you so much more opportunity than just making a living. It's giving you the opportunity to change the world. And there are so many women who feel like this world needs some change, even when you're not into spirituality. I believe most women, when they look into the world, when they look at how things are going right now, everyone is longing for a deeper change, a change into a more loving society, different. And when we realize as a woman entrepreneur, we have this tremendous power and we have this big heart, so we can use this power for the highest good. It's not just we have power, so wow, let's use it and do something with it. No, we have this power and we know it and we feel it in our heart and we can feel really into it. What do I want to do with this power? When I have this power to change the world, what would I like to change? Where would I share my love? Where would I like to share my light, my wisdom? What is this true calling from my, whether you call it soul or whether you call it divine or God or heart or intuition? When you really feel into your heart, when I really have this power to change the world, to contribute to this change, what would I love to do most? And I believe that's where we feel, when we really feel that we are that powerful. That's amazing. All women entrepreneurs start realizing themselves, hey, my business is more than just a vehicle for making a living. It's so much more than this.
Yeah. What I've been witnessing in these years of helping women not just make more money, not just grow their business, but doing it in the most authentic way, meaning authentic, one, by being the fullest expression of who they really are, but also by aligning with the things that make them feel the most passionate, The quote that I'm most known for, in fact, I got a Google alert for it this morning, is this quote: "The things you are passionate about are not random, they are your calling." And from the time that I shared this quote, it just went viral for the last like 10, 15 years around the world. And I'm really clear that when we align our business with the thing that we are passionate about, just to get down to the basics, like we make more money. So I know that perhaps we're thinking aligning and, women rising and this spiritual, like, oh, that's nice. It makes you feel good. But there are some people who are probably more in the fear state of, I need to make money for me and my family. And what I've noticed is when you do align with your passion, your calling, when you do pay attention to the signs of things breaking around you or no longer feeling fulfilling around you, and you redirect and align with what your soul is trying to tell you, you make more money.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's the case, Iris?
It's both. When I started with spirituality, and most people I knew in these days, they said, oh, when you're spiritual, you poor. Like basic, that was it. Like when you're spiritual, you can't ask money for it. It has to be separated. This outside world and the spiritual world. And I always felt like, no, that doesn't feel right. It should be one. When we're from love, why should I sacrifice and give all I have and not receiving? It felt misaligned also. And I believe we are guided towards this alignment of abundance, money, and all the good things in the world while we are sharing our purpose, while we are sharing what we are passionate about. Because when we are sharing our purpose, it's not like I'm giving you something and I feel really drained, so I need to have money. And no, when I'm sharing my purpose, I'm so excited and I'm so filled up and I'm so passionate about it, and my heart's really, I can hardly contain the love that's in my heart. And I also receive this money, which feels like absolutely a normal thing. And the universe wants us, all of us, to be abundant. The universe is essentially made of abundance. So when we really align with our purpose, and like when we are kind of off track, it's like the universe and our soul is helping us to crumble our world so we can find the alignment back. And when we are in alignment, universe, our soul are supporting us by showing, yes, you're heading into the right direction. So abundance and fulfillment. And yes, it's like a compass, like when you do what's bringing you joy and what's bringing easy money, and not easy money in the way of, oh, I can rip everyone off, but it's like
Yeah.
this, it's flowing easily. And I feel grateful. I can provide this and receive money, and it's only gratitude and more gratitude. And the universe are so kind of, I don't believe that the universe really is giving us, like, we need this, like from human perspective, we need this. You need a bonus to show you're worthy. The universe loves us always, and there's never, the universe doesn't love us. But in a way, from a human perspective, it feels like, okay, now I'm rewarded for this. So now I'm heading into this direction.
This makes sense for me on a law of attraction vibration level. Because when you think about how you measure personal vibration, if you're listening to this and you have not yet read the book by Abraham Hicks called Ask and It Is Given, I've been teaching from that book for many years. I especially like the list of 22 emotions ranked from the most high vibration, abundant feeling and emotion to the lowest. And the highest vibration is faith, bliss, appreciation, gratitude. I'm kind of like mashing them all up and at the top of the 22 emotions. And the lowest emotion is fear. And we've been taught to operate from fear of like, oh, I'm afraid. I need to make more money from this place of fear. But the real abundance, the real money comes from this place of bliss. And when you are doing the things that makes you feel blissful and appreciative and aligned, naturally because emotions can be measured on a megahertz scale. Naturally, the highest vibrations will attract the more abundance. So what I'm hearing from you, which confirms what I've been thinking for some time, is the more aligned you are, the more abundance you attract into your business and your life. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's abundance in all areas of your life, in all areas of your business. It's abundance in money, it's abundance in fulfillment, it's abundance in gratitude, it's abundance in worthiness. Because when we operate from this soul alignment, we also start feeling more and more worthiness. We start thinking differently about ourselves when we only creating in our business and trying to push, and you can easily hit like this imposter syndrome when everything is working out fine on the outside, but on the inside you are not feeling so well. You feel like I don't deserve it. But when you do grow your business from a alignment perspective, then you grow in worthiness and you don't feel like you're a fraud, but you feel like, hey, this is coming from the inside. This is me, and it all feels natural. And gratitude, abundance is just one field of so many beautiful things in which money and all material things also come naturally.
It just feels delicious, even just thinking about it,
Yeah.
more of this ease and grace. And instead of white knuckling and hustling through
Yeah.
our business, I have heard people say that a business has a soul.
Mm.
What can you share with us about this? I see you smiling really big when I just said that.
I experience it the same. And when I first heard it, it like, oh, really? And then I was aligning to my own soul, aligning to my business. And when I align to my soul, I also align to my body, and it's a total alignment. And then I was tuning into my business, and I experienced for the first time my business has a soul of its own. It's really connected to our own soul because we are we start this energy from our purpose, we start this business, but every business has a soul, and this soul has a purpose of its own. It's connected to our own values, it's connected to our own energy, but in a way it's a bit different. It's not exactly the same. Sometimes I feel it like a huge sacred space where we can all invite our clients, and it made it so. Suddenly I understood when I was working in different jobs, a whole lot of these jobs, I got burnt out and I couldn't really work in the energy of these businesses. These were huge businesses and I couldn't work in their energy. I got burnt out. It didn't work. And I realized, oh, that's why I couldn't work in a business which has a soul that doesn't align with my own soul. When there's a soul in a business which says it's money first for all of these things. And so a soul, yeah, this business has a soul of its own. Yeah, a soul is an energy field. It's the energy from which it originates. It's the energy from which everything came into form.
Mm,
Say,
fascinating to, because you connect when you go into a meditation, you connect with the soul of your business.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's beautiful. It changes so much. I didn't realize it before, but so many challenges or so many things in direction when I consult the soul of my business, the soul of a business from a client, a woman I work with, it's giving so easily a different perspective. You couldn't think of with your mind. You didn't really expect it. When this soul is answering, it's always something you didn't see before.
We've been talking about the energetics, the soul, the alignment, the purpose on a practical level. Not that saying that's not practical. Forgive me if that sounds like it, but on a step by step level, when somebody who's here today and listening to this and saying, yeah, this feels right for me. Like, I feel like I need to be doing things differently. I feel this lack of fulfillment or things are breaking around me. What are some practical next steps for her to start uncovering that deeper calling that, around the business challenges, or how can she begin to align with the true purpose in a way to have the business grow, be more abundant, and for her to be more fulfilled? What would be the next step, and then the step after that, etc.?
Usually the first step is just be more still. Actually, the first step is recognizing or admitting to yourself there's something more. I feel something wants to be uncovered or something wants to be seen. I feel there's some realignment needed, or maybe I ask myself the question, is realignment needed when things don't work the way it used to do, or you feel something more is needed? And it starts just by being still, taking some time. It doesn't have to be a long time. Just take 5 minutes to sit in a quiet place and just relax and bring your attention to your breathing and bring your attention into your heart and release all thoughts or all you don't need right in this moment. And just bring your attention in your heart and just feel you are here now, and bring your be willing to connect to your heart and to your soul, because we are so often we are just running and asking the questions in our minds, and then we forget to really tune into our heart, to our soul, to our deeper intuition. And this often takes some time and just going in and really listen and being willing. It starts with willingness to listen. And when you are still and you receive this answer in your heart from your soul, then trust it. Trust this is the answer your soul wants to give you, even when you don't understand it, even when you think, is this it? Is this all it's giving me? You just trust it and you let it sink in your heart. You kind of need to invite it into your body, because what we mostly do is when we listen and we get this wisdom, this intuition, we bring it to our mind, and our mind starts to think, oh, it says you should relax more. Oh, then tomorrow you can do a yoga session, and then day after tomorrow you can go out in nature, and our mind is figuring out all kind of things, and it's bringing actually out of alignment. And when we just sit with it and just embrace it and be grateful for all little nudges we are receiving, and we are allowing our heart to receive it. And sometimes when our heart isn't used to it, we can invite our heart to really relax. Then you're giving a message to your body and to your body system that it's safe to receive messages from your soul. Because when we receive a message, intuition, and it's taken to our mind, that's a message to our body, oh, it's not safe to receive messages. So next time your soul will shut up a bit more and it will close a bit more. And when we really receive it and sit with it and trust it and have faith that tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, the next, and we really just being grateful, then our body and our entire system is learning to trust this wisdom again.
Yeah. This feels really aligned with something that happened a few months ago. So I'm in my office right now, and I used to have two altars.
Mhm.
I used to have a business altar in front of me and a spiritual altar to the side of me. And it dawned on me one day, why do I separate my altars? Because I want to listen to the divine guidance from my soul, from the divine, right? Divine guidance from the divine about my business. I don't want to separate them. And so one day, and Derek came home and he's like, what have you done here? I combined them. So I took these two shelves and put them on these two shelves, and I kind of mashed them up, because I think that sometimes we don't slow down enough. We're really looking like, how can I make my business better? And how can I make my revenues better? And we're looking all outside of ourselves for the signs, for the strategy. And listen, I'm a strategic business coach. I'm a spiritual strategic business coach, but making the time to quiet and listen to what the guidance is underneath all the layers of fear, underneath all the layers of chatter of the ego. And so I have this practice now, a spiritual business practice or business spiritual practice, whatever you want to call it, where I will sit down in this long chair that I have in my office and I will light some incense or some candles and I will journal or I will pull oracle cards and I'm listening for the guidance from my soul around my business. And I talked about just recently, like I knew that I had to put a pause button on my 3-day mindset event. I knew that I had to make some hard decisions. And I think that it's really easy to not make the quiet space and then to not trust the guidance that comes because we are so taught to white knuckle and hustle through life and to operate from a place of fear, like you were saying earlier, like, all right, I just got to do that webinar again because that one worked last time. And let's do another challenge because that one worked last time. But there's a point at which we ignore what our heart is telling us. And so I see so many women struggling because they have completely shut off from their heart. And that was me for a long time. I'm not putting myself on this pedestal. This has been a journey. And I know it's been a journey for you too, Iris.
For me too. And I totally recognize what you say. It's been a long journey for me. And also in mindset, I also realized myself not only in strategies for business, but also in strategies for changing my mindset. I became like, oh, I need to change my mindset and I do need to do more, more, more. And then even energy work becomes something you need to do instead of truly listening what's needed, what's required, where should I go with this? And for me, it's also, it's been a long journey and I'm happy to be at a place where I can say it's a beautiful journey because I know when you're in the middle of it and there are challenges in business, there are challenges in your life, it can be so devastating. And I've been there in total fear, total anxiety, depression, so many years. And what helped me is keep following the breadcrumbs. And whatever it was, wherever I saw a bit of light, like, okay, I can follow this path, I can follow this, and this feels right, and this feels right. And so I kind of stumbled out of the dark into the light and making it even brighter. And what I've noticed, we can hardly, when life is challenging, when business is challenging, sometimes it's difficult to see what can be outside of what we are experiencing. And we need each other, we need a mentor, we need a community, and we need also this quiet time to learn to trust ourselves again, because we need to learn to trust our own intuition, our own divine guidance again, because that's what will guide us eventually out of the dark into the light and where we want to be.
Someone asked me a few days ago, what is the divine feminine? And I just got kind of stuck. Like I say, I'm here in service of the divine feminine, but in that moment, I didn't know how to answer it. And it really became just crystal clear that the divine feminine is really just an acknowledgement that the feminine has an innate spiritual connection. I'm not saying the masculine doesn't, but the feminine has this really innate, deeply connected connection to that spiritual center of all things. And when we ignore it, this is my perception only, it makes our life empty. And so I see so many women walking around like zombies, completely depleted, wondering, is this all there is to life? Is this all there is to my business? And not really living like a gray life and wondering, where is my technicolor life? Like, where is my colorful, juicy, like sensorial life? And not knowing where it is and if there is one. And everything you're talking about today, the abundance, the fulfillment goes beyond just that fear approach to life.
Yeah.
It's about going from the head to the heart, listening hard, and allowing yourself not to judge the simplicity of the message. That's what wanted to come through me. What are your thoughts about that?
Beautiful. I love what you say about, well, it touched my heart also what you say about so many women don't even realize anymore there is more to life. We have in school and when we've been raised, we've been taught to be satisfied with all we have. And women are good at this. Women are really great at being satisfied, being settling for what we have. And I've always had a lot of gratitude in my life. I'm grateful for that also. But this not even knowing there is more. And I think we need each other for this too. And also, when we are able to change the world as women entrepreneur, it's also in this part, like showing our brilliance, showing our joy, showing our abundance, and showing other women who are not there yet, like it's possible. It's possible to be there. And then I forgot the next part of your question.
I don't remember it either, but
Oh,
you
it was about
answered
divine
exactly what you were
feminine.
meant to answer.
You shared something about divine feminine, and I love what you shared about this and about really being able to attune to our spirituality. I also believe that's why women entrepreneurs are so powerful to change things in the world because we have this spiritual connection. Not everyone is calling it a spiritual connection. Maybe just you experience a deep love from your heart, or you experience deep connection to nature, or you experience this divine knowing that you want to do good in this world. And that's, for me, that's also spirituality. Spirituality is not just calling it soul or whatever we call it. It's this deep love that is inside of people, or connection to nature. And when we have this deep connection, oh yeah, I remember what you said. It's about this simplicity. When we experience this deep love and when we experience this connection to nature, we experience so much beauty in what the mind and the traumatized masculine energy says, like, oh, that's not of no value at all. When we watch a flower and our heart opens, or when we see a child smile, or a beloved animal we pet or something, or we meet our client and they share something and our heart just opens. This is what society could mention small things. To our soul, this is what life is about. To our soul, this is what abundance is about. This is what purpose is about and fulfillment. That I have the privilege to watch someone grow and step into their light and step into their alignment. And I have the privilege to watch all this beauty in this world. And we have the power to shift this meaning of what is simple, what is simplicity, what is big and what is small. And I think it's time for a shift in reframing what's big, what's important, and what's small and what's unimportant.
So beautifully said. Iris, as we wind down our time together today, what is something that you want to leave us with, or, tell us how we can find out more about you?
What I want to leave you with is, most of all, it's a message from your soul that you all are so beautiful and you all are so powerful, and yes, you are so worth it to live the life you really dream of it. You really, really dream of, and that you all came here with a purpose. And it's a purpose your soul is so longing for to live it, and where I can help you. First of all, I have the meditation. It's a free meditation where I can help you find this first alignment when you're finding it hard to find this stillness for yourself. This meditation can help you to be still and realign again. And maybe when it resonates, we can meet and I can help you further aligning with your soul and aligning in your business.
I will put the meditation in the show notes. So as you're listening to this, you can go and grab that meditation. Thank you for that gift, Iris. I really appreciate you coming on with your beautiful energy onto this podcast episode and really giving us a lot to think about. I can't take the smile off my face. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I hope this has planted a seed in your heart and in your mind. Here's to rising together. Thanks, Iris. Before you go, dear friend, I would love to hear from you. Here's what I mean. Podcasts are actually kind of funny when you're the host because sometimes it feels like a one-way conversation, but I actually want it to be a dialogue between us. Do you love what I'm sharing? Do you want more of a particular type of guest? Do you want more solo episodes? Do you want more on business or mindset, wealth consciousness, creating a delicious life, more about spirituality? I mean, do you even want to know how to get dinner on the table while you're scaling your business to seven figures? I am up for whatever you want because there are many things that I am passionate about. So if there's something that you want more of, your feedback truly means the world to me. So if today's episode resonated with you, if other episodes have resonated with you, if I've missed an entire category that you would like to hear more on, please leave a review and let me know. You can use the reviews as a way of just texting me directly about what you want more of. Tell me what you're loving. Tell me what's standing out for you and what topics you would like to hear more about, because your words not only help me create content that serves you better, but they also help other women find this work and rise alongside us. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. There is so much more to come, so much more I want to share with you, and I'd love for you to be here for all of it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in. And most of all, thank you for being you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Lots of love. See you on the next episode.